Welcome to our Dodge Careers Office panel. My name is Jessica Houston. I'm the admissions coordinator at Dodge College, and I'll be your moderator for this evening. It would be great if you could turn on your cameras. I know not everyone may have the bandwidth to do that within their computer, but we'd love to see your faces as we talk to you today. Before we get started, I wanted to briefly talk about our Zoom guidelines. So please make sure you're muted unless you're called on to unmute yourself. If you have any questions, you're more than welcome to put them in the chat. We do have staff prepared to answer your questions at any point in there. There'll also be the opportunity for a Q&A and during our session as well. So now I'd like to introduce our wonderful panelists. We have Joe Rosenberg here today. He's an associate professor and the director of industry relations for the Dodge Careers Office. We also have Jill Condon. She is the television writing and production program coordinator and the Associate Director of Industry Relations at the Dodge College Careers Office. And then we also have John Hernandez. He's the Dodge Alumni and Student Career Services Advisor. So thanks so much for joining us today, guys. So first, I would like to ask Jill and Joe, first question, can you each please tell us more about your role in the Careers Office and the programs that you teach here at Dodge? So we'll start with Joe.
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Joe Rosenberg, and I am the Director of Industry Relations. First, my role in what we call the Office of Careers and Industry Relations. What I hope that I will do in tandem with Jill and John and the rest of our team is to give you a thorough understanding of the principles and the methods for breaking into the business and maintaining success in the business. A set of skills which are tailored for today's job market, which is more and more entrepreneurial. And hopefully this gives you a competitive edge as you begin to navigate your own careers during Dodge for internships and when you graduate for entry-level jobs and staying with us as an alumni. So what we're going to do is continue to expand our knowledge base and our list of A-list executives and talent relations. And what we want is to provide you with better information, better knowledge, better access, better tools, so that we can empower you. Because ultimately what we want for you is to get a great education and also to obtain paid positions in the business when you graduate, whether you're an executive or a content creator, and we want to help make your dream projects happen. What I teach a variety of different courses. I teach a course on the agency and management business called Agents and Managers. I teach a course on what we call senior portfolio, which is where you take all of what you've learned over the 4 years at Dodge and create a capstone project. I teach a course on career prep for the entertainment industry. And I teach a course called The New Era of Television, which is all about the future of television, which with an emphasis and focus on streaming. So that's me.
Thank you. Jill?
I love, Joe, you sound so professional and
oh, you know, now and
Joe's
then.
the director. You guys, I'm the associate director because I can barely behave myself. And Joe, the reason Joe sounds so amazing and professional is because he is a super hotshot CAA agent. I don't know if you guys know directors. Everyone know who Ridley Scott is? David Fincher, Terry Gilliam, Luke Benson, Michael Bay. Yeah, that's who Joe's clients were. So basically, that's who's agenting for you now. And you guys
That's
can thank.
true. I now have 1,500 new
There
clients.
you go. There you go.
Good point.
For me, sadly, you guys are just getting an old comedy writer, but I do know a lot of people. And our job essentially is to hook you guys up. You know, Joe knows everybody. I know everybody. We want to let you know where the jobs are, where the internships are. I don't know if you guys are familiar with our new dean, Stephen Galloway, but he's brand new. And so he charged in here and went, what can I do? How can I make this awesome? And, you know, it's becoming very clear now that this is a hefty investment you guys are making. And a lot of your parents are, I don't know if they're like my parents. My parents went, entertainment? How about you just join the circus, Jill? And it's not that they weren't supportive, you know, they let me go to school and stuff, but they were really, really.
Looks like Jill froze. Okay. I wanted to hear what she was going to say. Okay, we'll move on to the next question and we'll go back to Jill. So John, can you hear me?
I can, yes.
Okay, great. Could you talk about your role within the careers office and how you support the students?
Definitely, yes. I was also looking forward to see what Jill had to finish there with. Hello, everyone. First, I got to say, Zaid, I love your background. We got a similar background here. You just got that evening, more of an evening look back there. Yeah, I am the career advisor for Dodge College, and my role is more at the micro level, where I help each student on a one-on-one individual basis with anything having to do with applying to internships. So you need help with your resume, cover letter, interview skills, communication skills, all of those things, including networking, connecting with alumni, which is a big thing, which I encourage all of you, if you do move forward with Chapman, use your alumni, use those connections, meet alumni. And then also help Jill and Joe with getting more contacts within the industry, setting up different initiatives with those contacts, like workshops or panels, bringing in people from the industry to talk to you about, you know, building a pitch deck or learning how to do coverage, different things that are a little outside of your everyday classroom, but are still necessary for you to be able to take that next step, whether it is into an internship or in your first job. So I'm that person who's going to be helping you one-on-one. Seek me out, and I can get you connected with either another faculty member or with someone in the industry or with an alum, or just let you know of what services are available to you through Dodge and through the broader Chapman, because there's a whole nother area of Chapman resources that are also available to you.
Thanks so much, John. Jill, you're back.
5 times I freeze in this whole COVID year, and of course it's in front of new people. You guys.
Yeah.
I don't freeze like this.
So what were you gonna say? We were really
I
excited to
was
hear what you
just
were
saying that, you know, we're now in a place where we really understand what an investment you guys are making, and so we set you up. In other words, anybody here feel like, oh, you know what, I'd love an internship at a company that develops TV shows, and I'd like to learn about that development process. Well, we don't just put you up for the internship. We say, you guys, you need to know how to learn coverage. So what we'll do is we'll do a workshop where we teach you how to do coverage, and you've got it in your hands so that you actually have that sample coverage, and then off you go with something tangible. The same with your resumes. I have kids come to me and they go, what do you think goes on here? And I go, take Geico off from 2014 and put your awesome resume from like Cartel Pictures on there. Put that experience on your resume. And then that's the way to go. So our whole thing is giving you guys what you need, and then sending you out there, as opposed to going, there's internships available, you guys should go apply. And also I'm from the TV world, and I am a TV writer by trade, and so I teach television. Are you guys all screenwriting, or are you everything? Jess, is it everybody across the board?
It's everyone across the board. So if everyone wants to share, you're more than welcome to put in the chat what program you were admitted to, so we could talk more about that.
Any TWP folk here who all have in my classes? I'm going to look at your chats to see who we've got. All right, film production.
Film production.
Creative producing. So I get some of you guys because there's some crossover, especially because now TV and screenwriting are so, you know, we don't want to just have you guys doing 90-page, you know, screenplays. Well, some of you, there's a couple kids that just love that, but mainly you guys want to be all over the place. And so you get to cross over and take TV workshops as well. All right, I think, what else were you guys talking about? What did I miss?
John was talking about his role, but that's about it. So I also like to ask Joe, can you talk more about your professional background? I know Jill mentioned that you're an agent, but what does that entail and how has that really, benefited your role within this career office?
Great question. I spent 25 years, everyone, as an agent in Hollywood. I worked for Creative Artists Agency, or CAA, which is a top entertainment and sports agency in Hollywood and all over the world. And I worked in the film and television area, primarily representing directors, people like Ridley Scott, David Fincher, Michael Bay, Tony Scott, Luc Besson, and many others. And what that did for me was give me a really unique purview on the business. Because as an agent, you're in the middle of everything. You're in the middle of every transaction. You're in the middle of every piece of information. And although you're representing people and finding them work, you have a lot to say about what content gets created in Hollywood, how projects and people are evaluated and valued. And we shaped a lot of careers and reputations. And in some ways, you function as a quasi-producer as well. So you're finding great material, you're creatively matchmaking, you're putting people together in order to find great content. And my talent was to find talent. The skill sets that I learned as an agent, which were attention to detail and follow-up, and having a macro view of the business, has served me well teaching about the business. And in this role as part of the industry relations team, I understand, I think as well as anyone, what you need in order to be competitive in the marketplace in our business. And so whether it's career advice or matching you up with the right people, my job is to make you camera ready, basically. So when you walk into an internship, you've got the best possible shot. And in the same way that I help clients build a filmography and a resume, that's what we're going to do for each and every one of you. And so you have to look at us as advisors and as job getters, in addition to helping you increase your basic knowledge. And I'm finding that the skills that I had as a mentor and an agent have really served me well as a teacher. And while I love doing that job, I'm having the ride of a lifetime teaching. I wouldn't trade it for anything. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, definitely. And honestly, I've heard from so many students, Joe, that you're their favorite professor here. So.
Oh, that's sweet. Well, thanks. Appreciate it.
Jill, I'd like to ask you the same question. Can you talk about your professional background and how it's benefited your role within the careers office?
Sure. I think a great benefit is that I'm sort of production and writing based and Joe's agent based. So we're a really good team. And we're able to hand stuff off and sort of Joe's strength is his strength, my strength is my strength. But when I need him, I go, Joe, I need this. Or if he's like, hey, this production thing came up, I go, oh, I know what that is. I'll do it. So it works really well in that we both cover different territories. But I think one of the greatest benefits is a silly benefit, which is that I was so scared when I was in college that I would never be able to support myself, and that I was making a foolish, like going creative was like, oh, what am I doing? Am I going to be able to do it? And so when I meet with kids, I'm able to give them some real practical advice about how to go out there and how to do it. And I can't tell you if you're going to be the next, Shonda Rhimes or, the next Michael Bay, but I can really, really help you be employable in Los Angeles, because it's not rocket science. There are some very, very definitive steps that you can take that can really help you. And the way we work here is it's really fulfilling in terms of, you know, helping you guys, because like I see that it looks like Ruthie and is it Zaid or Zaid? I should let you say.
Yeah, it's just Zaid.
Zaid.
Thank you.
I see that you guys are doc and broadcast. Literally an hour ago, John found the most amazing fellowship that Netflix was offering for doc. He forwarded it in an email going, hey, we should throw this up. You guys, what do you think? Let's put it on our Facebook. We've got an entire Facebook page that is just for internships and jobs, and we peruse the job boards and the markets for all the different places. You know, I'm sure you guys have taken a look at that in your lifetime. It's very overwhelming. We go through it, we take them, and we put it all together for you so that you can just scan through when you're looking. But anyway, so John's question was, should we throw it up? And everyone went, oh my gosh, yes, absolutely, instantly. And I said, I'm going to send this to Sally Rubin. You doc folks probably know who Sally Rubin is. She's an award-winning documentary filmmaker who teaches here at Chapman. And I've quick email, Sally, look at this. It's amazing. It's paid. It's a fellowship. It's a year long. Sally, oh, I'm going to push this out right away to 2 of my students and 2 alums who just graduated. So we go real quick to try and match you up and to get it going. And we're small enough that we can do it. So that to me is something that's been just crazy fulfilling. I love connecting people and plugging people in. And so to know that there's something great out there, and then quick, we can find a couple Chapman kids that will be perfect for it and plug them into it, that really, you know, makes me happy. So that's I think what I bring to the table.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jill. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, don't let her just skirt by
Seriously.
her writing credentials.
I was going to say that. Yeah.
Come on, Jill.
Let's talk about this, Jill.
You guys, I've written for so many shows that you have never heard of. How many people have heard of the Gina Davis show? Yeah, right. How about Townies? Grounded for Life? Raising
Maybe
Hope?
not that.
How about Friends?
Never heard of that.
That is, by the way, how a career works in writing. You've got your great credits and you've got your credits that anyone is, you know, that everybody's heard of. Anybody ever see the one where they make a bet and they have a quiz and the girls lose the apartment to the guys? That will be the first line of my obituary, folks. You just heard it here. Because it's a pivotal, many people consider it one of the best episodes. So how many of us are lucky enough to know what people will write about us when we die already?
You know, you raised one point, speaking of Friends, everyone. We had a panel last week, all Chapman alumni working as representatives at major agencies and management companies. And what I didn't realize at the time when we put the guest list together of the panelists, where they had all attended Chapman at different times, and they were in different majors. But I realized early on in the discussion that they were all friends. They were co-representing people. And I realized what makes our business so unique. It's a lot of fun. You get to work with your friends and you get to create great content. And if you're on the representation side, you get to represent great talent. And there's no other business like it on the planet. And you're in a very unique place because you're at one of the top 5 film schools. And all of us growing up, we never had any access. We had no understanding of the business. By the time you're done, this business will be so demystified for you that you'll feel like you grew up with it and you'll be comfortable walking in it because it'll almost be like second nature.
Thanks, Joe. I also want to ask John some questions, or a question about the services. So I know that the Careers Office puts on like workshops and events. Can you talk more about what that looks like for students?
Yeah, definitely. So Joe alluded to one of those types of events, a panel that he put on with some alum who are agents. So that's one example. We have different workshops throughout the semester, and we'll continue those into the summer and into the following fall, where we hit on different topics that aren't necessarily touched on within your curriculum, in your classes. And we do that because we know you need that information, you need that knowledge and experiences. And it's all free. It's no additional cost to you as far as you don't have to register for any other credits to take part in any of these workshops. And a lot of those workshops are done by our alum, actually. That's the beautiful thing of going to Chapman, is that you do become part of a family. Years past, it's been known as the Dodge Mafia, but it really changes as far as how it's known. But the feeling of it is still there, that you're connected to Dodge because you go through so much with going on productions, with going into these internships. You are in high stress situations, so you really get close to your classmates and take that beyond graduation. So we have a lot of alum who give their time, give their experience and insight into whatever part of the industry they're working in, and they want to help you. So we have panels, we have workshops. I'm currently running a coffee talk, we call it, with alum, where we're pairing a graduating student with an alum who's in the field that that student wants to go into. And they get a 30-minute conversation with them, and they get a contact. They have someone that they can email after they graduate. Hey, this is what I'm doing now. Let me just give you an update. We're both Chapman alum. We've had this conversation and we've built this rapport. Do you have anybody else that we can chat with? And those are the types of relationships that we want to continue building through events like that. And yeah, I think beyond the events with other guests, like I said, we do the workshops with staff and faculty within Dodge, where we go over your resumes, do a workshop on networking. How do you meet someone new, especially during this time where it's all virtual? What are the conversations that you have with that person? What are the questions that you bring up? How do you research that person? How do you find that person? We go through all those different best practices and tools and resources that you can use, both in-house that we provide to you, as well as third party that are just available to you in the public. And yeah, we try to really provide you with any kind of leg up that will give you that opportunity that others may not have.
Thank you so much, John. That was super informative. So the word internship comes up a lot. It has been mentioned already a couple of times, and a lot of students want to know about those. So how do students go about getting an internship? What do internships typically look like for students at Dodge?
I'll jump on this real quick. Yeah, so there's a couple of different approaches to that. Finding an internship can take a number of different methods. Like I was mentioning, we have internal tools that you could use. Primarily, there's one called Handshake, and that's a in-house web-based source that you can search for different internships. And then another tool is your faculty. Faculty are a great way to get in touch with different internship opportunities. And then us as the career team, we also are very in touch with the industry and can tell you what internships opportunities there are. And then there's a lot of other third-party opportunities or resources like LinkedIn, Indeed, or some more specific websites like Mandy or the Tracking Board. and a number of others that we also have access to and pull from so that we can provide those to you. Not all programs require an internship, and Joe and Jill may be able to touch on this a little more, but regardless, if your program doesn't require it, we encourage you, if you have the means, if you have the time, to take or to get an internship. And I say that as if everybody can just simply get one. It does take work. And that's where we come in and helping you get those internships. So don't feel like we are setting false expectations that you will get an internship when you get here. We hope that you will. We will help you as much as we can, but it is a process. It is an effort on your part. But yeah, I don't know if Joe and Jill, you have anything else to add to the internship side of things?
No, I think you.
I
I'm
just
good.
was going to say, I don't know if any of you guys know who Will Packer is. He's a producer. And he runs a production company, and he's made a point of putting African Americans in all the lead slots in his production company. And on top of that, he makes his interns, the internships are paid, because he is a Black man, and he came from a background where he was like, hello, I have to work to put myself through school. And I know that some of you are in the same place, and I don't want to promise you that every internship is paid, because almost all of them are not. But there are students who really want an internship and really cannot afford to have an unpaid internship, and we go searching for people like Will Packer, and for places where they pay. Again, guys, they're really rare, but we find them if they're out there. So I think that's an important distinguishing sort of mark for Dodge, as opposed to other internships where we kind of understand who our students are, and we want to help everybody. You know, it's not just for those who are lucky or privileged enough to be able to afford to do that for a semester. It's for everybody.
With that being said, I do want to say that if you're in those shoes, and I was as a student of not considering unpaid internships, if you're in those shoes, we don't know that unless you approach us and request that kind of support to get those paid internships and do all that. So if you don't let us know, don't tell us, then you're not going to get that kind of help. So think about that. And this goes for all your networking. This is a networking tip. If you don't tell anybody what your status is, what you're looking for, what your goals are, they're not going to help you because they don't know. And if they know, that's the only way that they're going to give you that. So
it's very, I feel like our office is the one where we go, come find us, hound us, send me an email that says, remember, you're looking for me for summer, come down to the office. You know, we want you to bug us, because that's how we help you, is by knowing what's going on with you. I mean, it's a little bit of a bespoke program. I have kids that have certain needs, and you know, I do what I can for everybody. And I think that that's very different than a lot of film schools. I think a lot of the internships, you're thrown in a little bit, and it's like, good luck. I hope you prove yourself on your internship. And we are the opposite here, I think.
Thanks so much, John and Jill. That was great. So I do want to mention that we are going to be having a Q&A. I already got some people that like private messaged me some questions, and I see we have another question in the chat. So if you do have any questions, please feel free to start putting those in the chat. If you want to ask a question on screen, right, to our panelists, you're more than welcome to do so. Just go ahead and virtually raise your hand. So there's like a hand raise feature within Zoom. You can go to like the panel at the bottom of your screen by participants. You'll be able to see those. It's a little tiny blue hand, I think. And you can press that, and I can call on you to unmute yourself, and you can ask your question. So I'm actually going to go to one of the questions in the chat. I think this question is for John. We had a student, an international student, ask about internships and if it would be different for him as an international student to get internships? Is there a different process for him?
Yes and no. It'll depend on the site that you are applying. Well, two things. It'll depend on the site that you're applying to and how they accept international students. And then also, as an international student, you should have the proper visas to work in an internship. So you'll need to have, you need to apply that internship for credit and get credit for that. And we have a office that's dedicated to international student support. That's outside of our office, but there is that support there for you. But there are plenty of international students that do get their internships within the entertainment industry. So it won't stop you as long as you do have the proper documentation to do so.
Thanks, John. We have a question from Jaden. Does Chapman have connections with the big blockbuster studios like Marvel, Lucasfilm for internships or jobs? They've talked to other programs that push that.
I'll take that. We have great relationships with every studio, every production company, every streaming service, every agency, whether it's Marvel, Lucasfilm, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, NBC, ABC, CBS, it doesn't really matter. We have reach that is across the globe and around the clock. So we're all competitive, all of the universities, in placing our clients in key internships. What we do bring are many years of trusted relationships with all of the people in the entertainment business. I've got 40 years of trusted relationships. And so if you want an internship at Lucasfilm or at Marvel, because Disney is the place you want to be, we'll give you access to that.
I somehow only have 25 years of experience, but I don't know how that is because I'm 35, you guys. I started working when I was 10.
Well, let me say one other thing. For example, Kathleen Kennedy runs Lucasfilm. We came up together. She was Steven Spielberg's assistant when I got into the business. And she became his producer and then his partner, and then formed Kennedy Marshall with her husband, Frank, and has produced some of the greatest movies of all time. And when Disney bought Lucasfilm, George Lucas said, I want Kathleen to run it. And so now she's doing that. And so it's an example of somebody that I go back my entire career with. We started at the same time, and elaborate, guys, you're going to start with people at the same time, and you're going to become a graduating class. And someday you're going to help somebody sitting in your chair right here, right now.
It's because people helped us that, you know, it makes you want to help other people. You guys will see you're still too young, but, you know, 5 years out, you'll be hooking up a Chapman alum because it really is how the business works.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. I'm only just maybe a year or two younger than both Joe and Jill, but with that, my connections aren't people that I've grown up with, but are Chapman alum. I think for me, that's where I've grown a lot of my touch points within all those different companies. Our alum are everywhere. And those are our ways of getting these opportunities to you guys, to the students in every year. And because of your time at Chapman, because of their time at Chapman and the bonds they built with the staff and faculty and their other classmates, they want to give back. And that really means only that they will give an opportunity to look at a resume or to help get a resume seen. I don't also want to give the expectation that because we know these people, we will get you an internship. We will give you an opportunity to sell yourself. It always comes back to the individual and being able to make yourself the best available fit for a given internship. And that, because that's how it's going to be after you graduate. Nobody's going to give you a job, and don't think that any school is going to do that, whether it's an internship or a job. we want to prepare you to do it on your own, to give you all the tools and resources to do it on your own. And that way, you know how to use the help, but it's you. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, totally. Thank you, John. We have a question about creating content. Do you all encourage students that are currently creating content to continue to do so?
Yeah, absolutely. And the content that you create at Dodge is yours. You know, yeah, definitely keep going.
Look, the beauty of starting out now for all of you, the barrier to entry is really low, and that's a great advantage for you. I remember Ridley Scott said to me recently, there's no excuse for your students not to be making things all the time. When I started out in the 70s, you couldn't make something on an iPhone. Tell them to keep making content, whatever it is. And if they feel like it's strong, let them put it out there in the world and see what happens. Because the more you make, the better you become. So we always encourage you to continue doing that in addition to whatever you're doing for us at Chapman.
Thanks, Joe. Oh, were you going to say something?
I was just saying, you want to continue building your content, one, to build your craft, to build your skill, but to build your portfolio. If you are in an area where you are creating content versus our, film studying students or PRA students, or an area that you're not necessarily having the content to show, but if you are, then you're going to need to show that, whether it's a reel, a visual portfolio, having your own website, or on social. If you have that content to show, that's what's going to be a leg up for you. So definitely keep building your own.
Awesome. So do you guys have more questions? We'd love to hear from you guys. You don't even have to put in the hand raise. If you want to unmute yourself, you're more than welcome to. It's a pretty tight, small group. So anyone have questions?
None of you guys have any questions for us? Really?
All right, it's time to call on people.
Okay, so I'll ask another question. I feel like this may have already been answered throughout our presentation so far, but what stands out about Dodge, our Dodge career office compared to other career offices?
We have one?
Yeah.
I don't know that a lot of film schools specifically have a careers office. I know because we have Chapman as a university has the career and professional development office, and that is available to all students regardless of the school or college they're a part of. And I definitely encourage you all to take advantage of their resources. And then Dodge has our dedicated team as well. And so there's that mutual resource that's working tangentially to support you. And I think that may be different than a number of other institutions.
Definitely.
Yeah, Brenda, go ahead.
So my name is Brenda Cook. I am the parent of a young man who was just admitted, who am just interested in, as a parent, why should we choose Dodge? Why Dodge? And this is a big move. My son is going from New Jersey to California. So why Dodge? Why should I encourage him to go into this field?
Oh, Brenda, were you
Well, that's
here?
two different questions. Where in Jersey are you from?
I live in South Jersey, right outside Philadelphia. I have a daughter at Penn, and hopefully my son will be making a decision soon.
The reason I asked was that I heard I'm from Philly. My sister lives in Cherry Hill.
Oh, okay. We don't live too far away.
Yeah, and for some reason I had a feeling. So we have roots in Jersey, and my whole family's from Atlantic City, just as an FYI.
So I live
So-
in between Cherry Hill and Atlantic City, and I work in Philadelphia every day.
Okay, great. I was born and raised, went to school there. Look, there's two different questions you're asking. A, why to pursue a career in the entertainment business? That's one question. And the second is, if you're going to do that, why Chapman? Why Dodge? So let me answer this with an anecdote. So I grew up in Philadelphia. I went to Temple University. My parents wanted me to do anything but entertainment, but I couldn't be stopped. I went to Temple University, but I had my heart set on working in the industry. When you have that mindset and you are built the way some of us are built, there's no other business that's going to satisfy you. And it's not like the other businesses. I remember my parents saying to me, get a law degree, become an accountant, get your MBA, find like a real job. But what I think we have all come to see is that the entertainment business, next to aerospace, it is one of the largest businesses in the country. We export more than mostly any other business on the planet. We make a certain product in a certain way that is unparalleled with anybody else on the planet. And so it's a business that a lot of people don't understand or don't know because it's not in every town like it is in LA and sometimes New York. It's a wonderful business because you work with great creative people. You work with people in collaboration. And the content that you create can change the world. I mean, it really can. It's powerful. And working with great artists and having that association, if you're built that way, you have the ride of a lifetime. So while I understand that it may not be typical, it's becoming more. And there are so many great ways to have a great career in the business, whether you're a writer, a director, a producer, director of photography, an executive, a lawyer. And this business is one of the few businesses also that is recession-proof to a great degree, even during the pandemic, while the rest of the country suffered and we took a hit. There was still work. This is a business that's resilient. And if your son or daughter does it right, they can have a 50-year run in this business. Now, why Dodge? Well, we're partial. I think we think that we have the best community. We have wonderful teachers, both on a practical aspect and on an academic level. Some are scholars in film history and television history. Many of us come from the business. And collectively, we have so much practical experience. And so you get educated and you also get to, it's a combination of sort of street smarts and the academic world. And what we're finding is that when you take the best of who we are, which are the professors and the community, the curriculum, which we continue to update, so it's state of the art, and great students come where great students come, but we have so many great students that we're finding that as more and more matriculate out into the business, the success rate grows and grows. And I think if you ask around, what you'll find is that USC is a great school, NYU, fabulous, Columbia and AFI, you can't go wrong. But it's not just about what you do, it's how you do it. And I think we take a certain pride in what we do and how we do what we do. And it's the sum total of the people that make up the community, and we have great people. And that's why I think Dodge is a fabulous bet for any potential student.
I also Brenda, I'm a mom. I have a 13-year-old and an 11-year-old, and I am already sweating what's going to happen. And you would think being a part of this process would make me feel better. No, I'm nauseous constantly. But one of the things that I do love about Dodge is that we give them practical things. Like, here is a skill. If you'd like to be a writer, what if you don't make it as a writer? Well, we can't guarantee that. but we can give you experience doing coverage, and we can teach you how to get out there and support yourselves. And in other words, as practical as this business can be, we prep them because we know they need to support themselves while they're working their way up in the business. And B, not every single person is going to be Chandra Rhimes. We can't promise that, but can we promise that we can help you in every single practical way to be employable and to have lots of high level skills? Yes. And so what I love about Dodge is our workshops and our one-on-one meetings with the students. And if I see that a kid really needs something and that's going to help them, I can intervene, and we're small enough to make sure they get it. So as a mom that goes, what are my little dummies going to need to succeed? I don't know. All they do is play video games. I love that at least there's someone there looking at them, looking after them. I had a kid that was in some mental health trouble last semester, and it's all very legal how we deal with it. And I don't want to say I stepped over the line, but I took a real interest in a way that I feel like it was a mom interest. And it turned out to be fantastic. I got she had to leave school. I got a letter from her parents saying thank you. And I feel like I'm not alone. I feel like our teachers are for our kids. So to me, that makes a big difference.
That means a lot to me. Thank you for sharing that.
Yes.
Thanks, Brenda, for your question. Okay, so we have a question from Zaid in the chat. How well is the career office intertwined with academic advising office?
I think, John, you can take that.
Yeah, so there's a couple of aspects to that. Chapman has a separate academic advising office that is for all Chapman students, but then Dodge also has advisors that are Dodge faculty for each student, depending on what your major is, where your program is. So that's where we have the career office has a lot more connection with. We don't talk about your classes together. We don't get into those conversations. But we as a career office are aware, especially because we have Joe and Jill, who are both faculty members, of the curriculum that our students are going through and the programs that they're going through and all the focus that they hit on. And we want to supplement that. And I saw that there was another question about equipping students with the more specific skills. It's a combination. The college prepares you to learn how to do your work as far as being a writer, being a director, being a cinematographer, knowing how to do advertising campaigns, whatever all those things are. And then our office is giving you that supplemental support in how to get into that first job, into that entry-level job, how to get into that internship to give you more experience, how to build those relationships with those people. So it's supplementing what you're learning and how to go into your career.
Because when I'm in my classes, I teach you guys how to be writers, and I am hard on you, and I teach you how to be the best writer you can be. When I'm in the careers office, I look at your resume and I go, hey, get your tushy down to that workshop that's going to teach you guys, how to do your reel if you need a reel, or that's going to teach you, how to do a pitch deck, which are brand new things. And it's a brand new thing that's just opening up. So I think it's what makes us so great is that we hit you both ways. We want your dreams to come true creatively, and that's what our faculty is all about. And then the rest of the team at careers, and Joe and I as faculty also, but with a lot of practical industry experience. That was part of the genius of our new dean, to pull out people that had real connections and real practical daily experience. I can tell my kids about what it's like to pitch at Netflix because I'm pitching at Netflix. And so it's a great combination, but also everybody's still going to have to pay their rent. You rarely walk out as a wanting to be a writer and are a showrunner 5 minutes later. You know, everybody's got to kind of work their way up. And for that, you need practical help. And I feel like I went to NYU and I feel like they did not prepare me practically in any way, shape, or form. They were great about, you know, helping me to learn how to be a writer, but nothing else. And I think in today's economy, you know, you really have to be able to help people with actual skills that can let them survive in the industry while they're working their way up.
Awesome, thank you. So we have some hand raises. So Allison, do you want to unmute yourself and ask your question?
Hi. So I think you kind of touched on this a little bit. But obviously, like when you get a job or an internship at the very start, you're not going to be like DPing or, you know, as a director. So are there like courses and programs to like teach students how to be a really strong like first AC or second AC or grip so that you can make a really, really strong impression to like continue to like get these jobs and internships?
100%. And by the way, if you're great at that, the word will get around and other kids that are making their films will go, Allison, can you come help me on my thesis? Because I need someone who's killer at X, Y, and Z. And so you become in some ways an expert at it before you're ever even out there. And then when you're interviewing, let's say it's an AC, when you go out there, they go, how many student films have you worked on? How many? And you can give them real experience that you've got, which makes them more comfortable to bring you in as an intern. So it feeds itself in a building way. You're just building your experience constantly.
Awesome. Okay, so this is going to be our last question for the evening. Michael, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Yeah, hello everyone. My question is, as someone who wants to be some sort of producer in the future, is there anything you recommend I can start doing now to better prepare myself? Like right now, I'm just researching different types of producers because I know there's like hundreds of types of producers. Also, I've been just trying to manage big projects in my school, like launching the first film festival there. And I just want to like better prepare myself for when I get to Chapman, because I'm doing creative producing. So that's my question.
You know what I would do this summer? I would create your own internship. We can send you a list of books on the business about producing and biographies of great producers. We can give you lists of films to see so that you can start building your knowledge base. What I would do if I were you, and I wish I had the time, is if you've got 3 or 4 months between now and the time that you come to Chapman, watch as many movies as you can. Start with the AFI Top 100 list, the British Film Institute Top 100 list. Watch a movie a day. Read as many scripts as you can get your hands on, which we can help supply for you so that you begin to learn what great writing looks like. Read books and biographies about people in the business that began just like you for inspiration and knowledge. And if you do that over the summer and really commit yourself to begin your journey, you'll be ready in September when you come to see us. That's what I would do.
Thank you so much.
Have a thirst for reading is what I got from that.
Makes you better.
Great. Thank you all so much for your questions. We did put some information in the chat. So we put our Dodge admin email address. If you have any other questions about our careers office, any questions in general about Dodge as you're trying to make your decision, please feel free to email us there. We're happy to answer your questions. We're also going to put our Unibuddy link in the chat. If you don't know what that is, that's an opportunity for you guys to interact with current students in our undergraduate programs. So you can reach out to students there. Again, if you're trying to figure out if Dodge is the right place for you, you can ask any questions. They can provide their personal experiences. And so great, that's all I have. Joe, Jill, John, any closing remarks?
You guys should definitely talk to other students if you're on the fence, because they can give you the real scoop, the real skinny. You know, we're faculty, so we like our jobs and we like the school, but you know, you get the all the good, the bad, and the ugly from current students, and I think you'll get mostly good. It's my opinion.
I was going to say, regardless of where you go, and hopefully you do come to Chapman, the big thing about this industry is talking to people. So even if you don't come here, take advantage of talking to the students through the Unibuddy as a practice for you to reaching out to people, to having those conversations, being the interviewer, getting information from them. That's a big part of networking. So practice that skill. It's a huge thing that's going to help you.
And I would just like to say thanks for giving us the opportunity. It's a privilege to teach, and we hope we get to work with you. And if you have other questions, our emails are available, and you can certainly reach out.
Yeah, I'm just Jay Condon at chapman.edu. Are you Jay Rosenberg? Are we the same?
At chapman.edu.
You guys can track us down if you've got more questions.
Yeah, we're in the directory.
Awesome.
Great.
Thank you. Also, we have a masterclass tonight at 7 o'clock. Straight
Yeah.
from Blumhouse Productions, right? A wonderful company. So make sure to join that as well.
All right.
Have a great night.
See you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.